What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next I've got the second part of my big CGC submission, this unboxing. I have not checked the grades, and I am excited to see these. If you haven't watched the prior video, definitely recommend it. There were some nice surprises in there, some disappointments, a little everything, some awesome books, and there's some awesome books left in here. So let's check these out. Alright, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you would like to see more content like this. Like I said in the last video, it really helps the videos, getting the likes, helps the YouTube algorithm, all of that, so really appreciate it. I've got 13 more books in here from this standard submission. If you're not familiar with the standard submission, that is any book that you value between 400 and 1,000. From that last submission, I definitely got some back because of the grades that beat those values, and so hoping for the same thing here. Now, if you're not familiar with these, the standard submission, this one cost, just for the grading, cost $74 each. Then with the pressing, all of that beforehand, these ones all cost, I think, between $112 and $117 to get graded. So these are bigger books. They're generally books that I'm going to value around $1,000 plus after they're graded. And it's just because you've got so much expense that goes into grading, you really have to consider that when you're getting the book graded. So, all right, let's get started with these. Like I said, I did not check the grades on these, so I kind of like bring them down from the top, talk about the book a little bit, and then I'll show it, and we'll see how my grade estimates were. Last one, my first few unboxings, I was basically like almost like right on point for a lot of stuff, and this last one I was off a little bit. So we'll see how this one goes. What do we got here? Okay, all right. This is Ghost Comics number 6. The Ghost Comics run, it's a pre-code horror run, has some of just the coolest, we call them like pre-code horror, good girl art covers that are out there. A lot of them by Maurice Whitman, including this. This is my favorite cover from the run. My buddy Jake's calls covers like this Kool-Aid Man covers, because you got this dude like busting in the back to like save the day. So whenever I show these, he always sends me something. He's like, oh yeah. but so I've got like 3 copies of this book now, which is crazy because it's a pretty rare book. And what did I have this one at? I had this one at a 2.5 because it's missing a decent little amount of like stuff out of the corner up here. But in general, it's a glossy, nice presenting copy. It's just the stuff that's missing up on that corner. I have seen books that are missing that getting a little higher grades than I'm usually conservative when it's missing pieces. So let's see how we did. 2.5. All right, right on. And so yeah, can't be disappointed when it's the grade that I estimated. It's just with Golden Age, I've been kind of a little all over the place lately. So there's a little bit of staining, down on the back there. But even at a 2.5, this is an expensive book. Like I said, this is probably the most desirable book from the run. It's just, it's got that, the bondage cover, good girl in the, good girl art, red dress, pre-code horror stuff, this like super creepy face in the back there. Just a lot of really cool details on this one. So 2.5, happy with that. Let's good start, right? That's how the last one kind of started like that. I was right on for the first few and then just off for a little bit. Let's see what this is. All right, this is a big book. This is Fantastic Four number 4, first Silver Age appearance of Submariner, because first appearance of Submariner way back in Golden Age cost millions of dollars, all that kind of stuff. And now this one is, I think, completely split at the spine, tape on the spine, multiple extra staples. I had it at a 0.5 to a 1. I've seen books like that get up to like 1.5, but I'm happy with anything. This book has gone up so much with all the spec on Submariner, so let's see how we did. Yeah, 1.0. All right, so 0.5 to a 1, happy with that. Getting the upper end of that, and so you can see on the notes up there, spine of cover completely split and front cover reattached with tape. 3 extra staples added after manufacturing, tape on cover and interior cover. So it's, for the grade, it's a nice presenting copy. It's got decent colors. You've got a little bit of writing on here. Whoever Brian was decided that he wanted to make sure everybody knew this was his book. But decent presenting copy for the grade. On the back, you can see a lot more of the tape along that spine there. But those split spines, you're going to have a tough time getting out of a 1.0, 1.5, and just with the extra staples and all that, I'm not not too surprised. So, but 1.0, I mean, even a 1.0, I think it's going around 1,800 or something like that now. I mean, that book has gotten really out of hand on prices. So, yeah, that's a pretty big book. That Ghost Comics though is comparable on price. That is not a cheap book either. Oh, all right. This is a cool pre-code horror cover. This is Eerie Comics #1, the second version of Eerie Comics. The Eerie Comics #1, the first version, is considered like the first dedicated horror comic. This is the second volume, you'd kind of say. But again, you got the good girl art, the woman in the red dress. She does end up getting saved in the story if you're concerned. Creepy, goblin vampire guy on the cover. This is a really, really nice presenting copy. The main issue is this color rub along the spine. But in general, a super clean copy, especially for a book like this. This book usually looks like garbage. I had this one at a 4.5. Let's see how we did. 5.0. Cool. Yeah, real happy with that. I mean, it presents extremely well. Really clean looking copy of this book. It's just got all that color rub along the spine. That's really what hurts it. On the back, it's got a little bit of, I'd say it's probably like foxing. And so if you ever wonder what foxing is, it's kind of these like little brown dots. And so you can see those there. Some foxing on the back cover, but not too bad. Happy with that. That is a cool looking book. Really nice presenting copy. And a 5.0 is a solid grade. Off-white pages, awesome. So very happy with that one. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay, this is one of 2 copies of this book that I have in here. I'm going to try to not look at the grade to see if I can tell which one this is. I think this is, not I think, there's one that has a tear on the bottom. This one does not have a tear on the bottom. This one I had at a 5.56. It's a nice presenting copy, but a little bit of like spine wear here, and there's a crease like right here. It's color breaking, can't do anything about it, but pretty nice presenting copy. I remember the back cover was really bright too. Nice book. This is the first appearance of Batgirl, Barbara Gordon as Batgirl. So like I said, I had this at a 5.56, 6.0, awesome. So yeah, real happy to get the upper end of that grade range. The main thing I think that really did hurt it is this longer crease. It's about a 2.5 inch crease, give or take. It's got a little bit of spine wear, and then this issue up at the staple, that's a pretty big, you wouldn't even call it a spine tick, kind of like a small tear, but in general, really nice presenting copy of this. This is, I have 3 copies of this book now. I have a 5.5. I was hoping one of these would beat that 5.5, which this one did. So now this will be probably my keeper copy, at least for a while. We'll see. But yeah, great book, 6.0. And then I'm guessing the next one is the other copy. Let's see here. This one was actually a little cleaner. You can see like it doesn't have nearly as much spine wear. It has a little wear up at that staple again, but it has a pretty decent tear down in the bottom. Let's see. I don't know if it's not really showing up, but there is a decent, take my word for it, there's a decent tear down at the bottom here. It's maybe like an inch and a half. I had this one at a 5.55. Whoa. Man, that tear split more. Oh, God, it definitely wasn't that big. Damn, that sucks. So this tear, that really sucks. That's a big loss on this book. This tear was like this big. It's now this big. It goes up above the staple. I think it's detached. If it's not detached to the staple, it's probably only attached at the front cover. Ah, man, that really sucks. You can see it on the back. You can see where that tear is up here. It wasn't like that. This is, I've had a few instances of this, and if you watch Comics with Bonix, he had this happen with his Avengers 4, his first Silver Age Captain America, where it got detached at the top staple. CGC's being rough with a lot of these books, and it happens. It's an unfortunate part of submitting these for grading right now is that they are processing books fast, so people are getting books back a lot faster, but it seems that they are adding additional damage to these books, because yeah, that really sucks. That's a pretty big loss on that book. That was not a cheap raw book, so that's unfortunate. Yeah, that sucks. Oh well, moving on to the next one. All right. Okay, this is a fun one. These are really just all over the place, not really in any order. This is Detective Comics number 164. Really awesome bat signal cover. Has a little chipping, over here, but in general, a decent presenting copy. I had this one at a 354. This one has some, staple tears up here too, and that kind of stuff. But let's see how we did. 4.0, great. Oh, and white pages, killer. All right, 4.0 white pages. That's awesome. I've said I'm not like big on page quality, but I am happy to get white pages when I get them because it definitely adds value to your book. Not to everybody, because like me, I don't add value to the book for white pages, but some people do, which means that it does add value to the book. But yeah, a little bit of some tears and stuff along the spine, that little missing piece. But 4.0 white pages, that is. And it's just, I think this is probably one of the best bat signal covers. I mean, there's so many of them. I mean, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different bat signals. Yeah, 5 different bat signals on here. So it's a really cool Batman cover. Definitely happy with that one. Awesome. So Detective Comics 164, 4.0. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay. All right. This is X-Men number 9. This one, I had a tough time with grading on this one because I'll try to show it. I could definitely show it afterwards, but there's all these little like scratches right here. And I wasn't sure how they'd press out, but like some of them actually like tore into the cover a little bit because in general, it's a pretty high grade copy. Like you've got that little bit of damage on the top, but I mean like spine is really quite nice. Bottom edge is nice. Right edge is nice. I mean, it's a nice presenting copy, and so it looks like it's a what did I say? It looks like it's kind of. I mean, you could even say maybe like a 7.58, but I had it at a 6.57 because of those like scratches. Let's see how we did. Oh, dang, that's a yes. So scratches must have come out really well in the pressing, because. Yeah, the only one that really shows up is the one that you could see easily, like right here. There's this scratch, but like that is why you get your books pressed. That is why you get your books pressed because, like I said, it was like 4 or 5 scratches like here. Like it was almost like somebody took their fingers and just like ran them down it. You can almost see them. Let's see if I can get it to show up in the light. It's tough. It's in the. There we go. That'll probably do it. So you can see them there. They're around the X. You can see the little pinpoint on the X there. That's where it tore into it. And the pressing really made those better. That's awesome because yeah, I mean I was definitely thinking this book was going to get a lower grade because of those scratches, and man, that's where it's worth it to get your books pressed. Spend that money, get the books pressed, have somebody do it that really knows what they're doing. Because, in cases like this, that is a huge amount of value added to this book. I bet, like I said, if it wasn't pressed, it's probably down in the 6s. But then pressing, getting rid of a lot of those deep scratches, just 8.5. That is a back cover, real nice. That's a monster. 8.5 that's a big book. I'm really happy about that. All right, yeah, man, I like how the upside surprises are evening me out for some of these a couple of these disappointments because oh man, that 359 that sucks. Like I lost hundreds of dollars on that book on that one. All right, so this is a cool book. This is Golden Age Captain America, but late Golden Age Captain America. This is Captain America number 76. This is when he's beating up Russians, I think. This is when we're more afraid of the Russians than we are. It's post-Nazis. This one had a really big tear over here that went through the whole book. I think it was like 1.5 inches long, just straight through the whole book. I mean, you could tell it, like it really messed up that top staple too, completely bent. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there's that tear. So you can see it. It's like big tear. And this isn't just on the cover, whole book. So I mean, I overestimated how much a tear through the book would hurt it on that Marvel Mystery Comics, the Marvel Mystery 52 that I had a really nice grade on. That had a tear through the whole book, but it wasn't nearly that size. It was, you know, maybe like this instead of like this. So I had this one at a 1.8. After that Marvel Mystery, it's making me think like maybe it's going to get a little nicer. Maybe I get a 2.25, but I had it at a 1.8. I'd be happy with anything, you know, around there. 2.0. All right, nice. So yeah, 2.0, a little above, you know, a little upside surprise from the 1.8. But these are, I think this is called like the first Atlas issue. Yeah. So see in the notes there, first Atlas issue. This is when Atlas is doing Captain America. It's not Marvel Comics, that kind of thing. So yeah, cool book. 1954. This is when they tried to bring superheroes back for a little bit, and it didn't work, and they ended up essentially kind of like putting them on the side for a while again, and then it wasn't until you had Flash come in a couple years later, and then Marvel really didn't do it until 1961 with Fantastic Four. So quite a few years for Marvel to come back, 7 years, because this is almost, there's a couple issues after this, I think, but this is, yeah, cool book. 2.0, happy with that. All right, always happy when it's, I mean, I like the upside surprises, but I do really like it when I get my grades of just about right, because it means I'm evaluating the book correctly, because, yeah, I mean, it's nice getting upside surprises, but, you know. All right. This is Marvel Mystery Comics number 17. And this is, I think, a very relevant book, considering the video that I put out almost like just before this one, where I was talking about that Marvel Mystery Comics 20 that I bought that had restoration on it, had the tear seals on it that weren't reported. So this is a book that I also bought from Heritage that they did report the restoration. It's very obvious. Basically, I mean, it's almost like a big chunk of the cover was missing, and it was, I don't know what it was rebuilt with. It looks like something, it's almost like liquid paper or something that was there. But then on the back cover, it's really funny how they like tried to redraw the scrolling with marker. I mean, it's comical to me. But one of the main reasons I wanted to get this one pressed was just to make it look as nice as possible, because the back cover looks really cool. You know, you got this big, it's an Alex Schomburg cover. You got this big Alex Schomburg Human Torch. I mean, it's going to be restored, and with this amount of restoration over here, it's probably a C5. That would be my guess. But these are rare books, and so I'm happy to buy restored books like this if it's reported, so I can value it accordingly. That was the problem. It's not that I had a big problem with the book having restoration. That other book having restoration, I had a problem with the price I paid for it. So I had this one just because it's like missing lots of pieces there. Basically, I had it at a 0.5 to a 1. I mean, it's possible they could give it more. I don't know how to grade this. It's really strange. Like, I don't know how to grade that. So, because it's a really nice presenting book otherwise. Let's see. 2.0. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'll take that. I'm super happy with that because, like I said, it's a really nice presenting copy in general. It's just got all this junk that was like rebuilt on the spine there. You know, and here you can see it closer where they tried to redraw. It's like, oh yeah, real professional artist there, redrawing that scrolling. I just thought that was so funny. But yeah, and yes, a 5. So restoration includes color touch, pieces added, tear seals, and C5 is the highest amount of restoration. It's based on the square inches basically of the cover that have been restored, and it's just because it's so much along the spine. Get that C5, but yeah, I'm happy with that. I mean, it's a cool World War II cover. You've got the swastikas on there. You've got both Human Torch and Submariner. Alex Schomburg cover. So you can see up here, Schomburg cover. Those are the big books. Those are the ones you want. So real happy with this. All right. Yeah, I had no idea how to grade that one. So I was just, even CGC graded that one a 0.5. So, or not CGC, even Heritage graded that one a 0.5. So, hey, you know, I'll take it. All right, what are you? Okay, this one, I can almost guarantee this is brittle pages. This book felt like, there's sometimes like, you're surprised. I've been a little surprised with some of the page qualities they've given, but like this one, I'm pretty sure this is gonna get brittle pages. But this is a crazy rare book. This is Super Mystery Comics, Volume 1, #1. You could almost call this the very first Magneto prototype. This is 1940. Yeah, this guy, what's he called? Magno, that, you know, moves things with his fingers, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's a pretty nice presenting copy. It has, man, these damn spine splits, they've been killing me. It has a pretty decent spine split up here, and there's a piece missing out of the, yeah, there you go, you can see it up here. There's a piece missing out of the back. And so despite being a pretty nice presenting copy, I mean, with the page quality and the splitting, man, I had it at a 253. They've been throwing me off on this. So let's see what we got. 2.0, yeah, and brittle pages. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You know, it's just with what I've seen lately, they have just been hammering spine splits. That's something where, you know, I'm gonna have to adjust how I'm grading for CGC submissions with these spine splits, because they have just been killing it. And you know, but really nice presenting 2.0. I mean, look at this thing, 1940. You know, you got that little piece missing out of the back there, but yeah. I mean, yeah, the brittle pages will hurt it a little bit, but I think the spine splitting, like I said, they're killing books, the spine splits. So it's unfortunate, you know, that the spine splits are doing that now, but you can, you know, if you're buying books that are graded, that's what I always talk about, is like, that's how you can get books a little more affordably. You look for those flaws that don't really show on the front cover, so you have an awesome presenting copy of this really rare book, but you are, you know, you're going to get a lower grade because of it. But all right, so little downside surprise on that one, but like I said, I'm not really surprised after the last few submissions I've gotten with how they've been treating spine splits recently. I was kind of expecting it. All right, so what do we got? What are you? Oh yeah, this is Strange Tales 111. Again, another book that got back just a little bit too late. So this is the second appearance of Doctor Strange, first appearance of Baron Mordo, and first appearance of Asbestos Man. You know, major character, one of the best, like, C-rate, D-rate villains that's out there. You know, just the arch enemy of the Human Torch, Asbestos Man. But this one, I thought it was a pretty nice grade. Let's see, I had this one as a 6.65. We'll see how it did. Ugh, man, 5.0, rough. That is definitely disappointing, because this was another one that wasn't too cheap. But, you know, there's a little bit of Marvel chipping on this one, but man, it's a nice presenting copy for a 5.0. But can't do anything about it. I'll definitely, you know, take a look at the grader's notes. I always like to learn to see if there's a reason, something I missed on why it got that grade. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they hit it real hard for the chipping. But I've had books with worse chipping get 6.5s, 6.0, 6.5s. So, you know, it is what it is. But again, that one sucks a little bit. Definitely a loss, a little bit of a loss on that book. But some of these other books had nice wins. So, man, up and down in this one. All right, what we got here? What are you? Oh, all right. So this is, what is this called? Space Adventures number 12. So this is this crazy Steve Ditko, like early Steve Ditko cover. This is really early Steve Ditko. I think this is, what year is this? 1954. And this is back when, like, his stuff, it looks like Wally Wood. Like, if you're familiar with Wally Wood, these like pre-code sci-fi type covers, this is what his covers look like. It's just, I mean, it's kind of like a fun cover. You know, it's this woman on here, hello Earth, have landed safely, no sign of life here, and you got the giant monster in the back. She's wearing, you know, the very efficient space uniform. But what did I have this one as? Oh God, I'm getting crushed lately. So I had this one at a 2.53. It had a fair amount of spine wear. I mean, you can see the, you know, the chipping and stuff on the bottom. Let's see how we did. 2.5. All right. Man, brittle pages again. I'm getting slammed with these brittle pages. But yeah. You know, it's got a little bit of tanning, but it's a nice presenting 2.5. And this is a tough book. This is a rare book. This is an expensive book, even in a 2.5. This is over $1,000 book, no question. But Yeah, brittle pages. These page qualities are, they're hurting my grades a little bit, because generally page quality isn't going to affect your grade for the most part until you start getting down into slightly brittle and brittle. The highest slightly brittle I have is a 6.5. It's the Punch Comics 19. The highest brittle I've had, it might have been a 3.0. I think I had a Phantom Lady at a 3.0. I don't remember for sure though. But yeah, brittle, it really limits you on your grade. All right, here's a fun one to end on. All right, so this is Silver Surfer number 4. Arguably the best Silver Surfer cover of all time. When I did my video, or I did a poll on YouTube about the best Silver Surfer cover, this one won hands down. And this is actually a really nice presenting copy. The main problem with it is it has quite a bit of foxing on the back. So this is foxing. So I've shown it in a couple other videos. This is a very good example of foxing. And so you can see that's what it is. It doesn't get treated quite as bad as like staining. It gets treated kind of a lot like tanning. And so I had this book at a 5.5, but I mean, this one presents like a 7.5, I think. It was a really nice presenting copy, but the foxing just gonna kill the grade. Ooh, maybe not. Dang, that is a nice grade for with that foxing. Wow. 7.0. That is a nice win for this one. Like I said, I mean, I had it at like a, what did I say, like a 7.0, 7.5, and I thought the foxing was gonna hurt it, but it didn't. Wow, I'm surprised. So yeah, I considered this, pretty moderate, like a moderate amount of foxing. It's not heavy, but that really didn't hurt the grade nearly what I thought it was going to. But here you can see, let's take a close look at this one. You've got a little damage at that staple. There's a little color rub along the spine here. Little blunting and stuff on there, but man, 7.0. Off-white to white pages. That's a nice upside surprise for this book, because that 7.0 is a pretty solid book for this one. It's actually my other copy I have is a 7.0. I didn't think this one, I think it actually presents a little bit nicer, but that one doesn't have the foxing. Wow, all right, awesome. I've had some big surprises on the positive side and some, a few surprises on the negative side, but yeah, that again, the last video had a really nice upside surprise on the final, and this one is a really nice upside surprise too. 7.0. That is a nice book. So awesome, cool. Very excited about this. This was a fun unboxing. Again, I might do a follow-up video where I go over graders notes and everything. It all depends. Those take quite a bit of time, so it's just about how much time I have to go through those. But hope you enjoyed this video. Man, again, roller coaster. Real excited about this. If you did, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. I've got more videos over here if you'd like to watch some of my other videos, and the subscription button right here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.